I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because you remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term "end racism" from the end zone. Yeah. Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump. Yeah. This much I know. All the black people on my feed were like, ooh, this is blackity black black.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Let me just say right off the bat that I'm not into football and I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I did happen to see a lot of left-wingers who were super outraged that so-called racists were pointing out the lack of diversity at the NFL and the halftime show. As you can imagine, it must be different.
You know I don't do sports. You know I don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen. I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because you remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term "end racism" from the end zone. Yeah. Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump. When I saw Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a black Uncle Sam introducing Kendrick Lamar, who then had like an entire formation of all black people making a U.S. flag. Listen, this much I know. All the black people on my feed were like, ooh, this is blackity black black. And all the racists who somehow get in, man, were they hopping mad. So if the racists are mad, I am happy as a clam.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Wait. I thought it was racist if you're not diverse. Now suddenly we're talking about a halftime show that was all black people in a league that is mostly black, and it's somehow not racist? I'm guessing because the rules have changed due to the fact it's different. You see, this is the sort of thing that makes me think that once white people do become a minority in this country, we will not be afforded those same considerations. I think we need to get their rules straight. So if there's too many white people, then there needs to be less white people. Or even better, no white people. But if the NFL and all the halftime shows are literally all black, then you're the racist for noticing the total lack of diversity by their own standards.
Yeah, but it's different.
I agree with Anna. I mean, with all these attacks on diversity, all these attacks on African Americans, it was so nice to see black excellence and joy in front of the sitting president who decided for the first time to go to the Super Bowl. New Orleans.
I don't think he's ever going back.
I don't think he's going back. New Orleans, of course, is a predominantly black city, very close to my heart, 55% black. Then you have Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people said they didn't understand his performance. Guys, he's an award-winning, a Pulitzer Prize-winning musician and poet, okay? So it was a many-layered performance. You've got Serena Williams crip walking. What I also really enjoyed about Kendrick's performance is it was performance art if you really looked at it. It was multi-layered. Yes, he had people dressed in red, white, and blue, the colors of the flag, but he also had those people, he was standing in front of them because he's explaining that this is a divided country at this point. He also has them leaning to the side because this country was built on the backs of black people.
See what I mean? This makes absolutely no sense. She claims that there's attacks on diversity, and then her response is to have a group of only black people performing at the Super Bowl. They even had a segregated black anthem sung by a black person, along with our own national anthem, also sung by a black person. I mean, we're talking about 13% of the country here, and these are people, again, who constantly claim that it's racist if you don't have representation that's equal to the proportion of the country. Again, I don't get it from a bunch of people who are really into DEI, yet suddenly, when we're not talking about white people, diversity suddenly doesn't matter. Also, Sunny Hostin is a racist imbecile who once called white women roaches, has said that white people are mostly all racist, is anti-interracial marriage, and whose family were actual slave owners.
Here's the thing. The Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. It's an American sport.
Yep.
And we got players of all colors.
No, it's a vast majority black. And like I said earlier, they actually want to make it blacker, not more diverse, which again is totally fine with me. But again, we're talking about people who constantly lecture us about how great diversity is and that we have to sacrifice merit in favor of this diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yet when we're talking about the NFL or the NBA, suddenly that's not the case.
Players of all colors playing this game. So the next time anyone decides that someone isn't good enough, that they shouldn't be, this is what decides if you're good enough. If you made it, you were good enough. Now, winners and losers we will always have, but there is nothing to say that any one of us can't play. We're all invited to this game.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
We're not going to see any of these leagues institute DEI in order to get more white, Asian, Mexican, Chinese, or disabled players, because none of those things is going to result in entertaining competition. And this doesn't suddenly stop being the case if we're talking about businesses or government. So if there's mostly black people in a space, well, that's because they're just the best. However, if there's mostly white people in a space, that's because of racism.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Am I alone in being completely baffled by these people? Let me know in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.